All right, we're here with Ann and Jay from Magical Bridge Foundation. And just if you could give the people sort of just an overview, what your organization's all about.
Yeah, we're Magical Bridge Foundation. We are a foundation, a nonprofit foundation that works with communities to build the most innovative, all-inclusive playgrounds for the communities in which we go.
This is because there's some children, or that can't. Traditional playgrounds maybe don't work for them for whatever reason.
Yeah, so we build for all abilities. That's what we like to say. So our playgrounds are not just for the disabled population, they're for everyone. So what makes our playgrounds so innovative is that we look at the playground as a whole. We look at people with sight impairments, vision impairments, the autism community, intellectual disabilities, the aging community, basically all people. And then we design around that to create an experience for people that they can come to the playground, they can all play together and feel really comfortable in one space.
And so Jay, you were mentioning that maybe not tech per se, but that there's certainly an innovative element to these.
So, well, Magical Bridge Foundation is getting a reputation as being a thought leader in the area of developing inclusive public playgrounds. And really, when you think about it, sort of every discipline of engineering is represented at our playground, from electrical engineering to computer science to civil engineering to mechanical engineering. For example, we have one piece of equipment called the ground carousel, which was imported from Germany, and it's a spinner, but it's at ground level, and actually two people in wheelchairs can transfer onto this and spin along with their typical friends, and that's completely magical. Another example is our 24-string laser harp, which is an arch that has sensors above it, and the sensors are very accurate from a high distance, and so a person even that has limited mobility is able to trigger sounds from this harp.
Wow.
And I saw on our opening day there was a person who had very, very limited mobility. A wheelchair user could just barely move one hand, but he was able to trigger the sounds. So
sure.
To me, that's completely magical.
And what Ann was saying too, that's for everybody. That sounds like something I'd like to do, and I have pretty good mobility. So where are these playgrounds so far? Where have you put them?
So our original playground is in Palo Alto at Mitchell Park. And we are now, we have another playground that's been fully funded, and that's being currently under construction in Redwood City. And we're now fundraising for several more playgrounds, one in Morgan Hill, one in Sunnyvale, and one in Mountain View.
Okay, and we're in Mountain View, so when can Mountain View expect to get our Magical Bridge playground?
So our goal is to finish our fundraising by the end of this summer, and then we'll work with the city to set our dates to break ground and get the playground built, and they take about a year.
Well, you guys are doing great work. Thanks for making time to talk to us.
Thank you.
We'll check out the next thing.
Yeah.
Cool. Thank you.
All right, back at the Tech Showcase, the fourth one. I'm here with Mayor Lenny Siegel. What goes into putting an event like this on?
Well, it's relatively easy because there are so many people doing interesting things in Mountain View, whether it be NASA or a little startup. The rest of the world seems to know that we are the center of innovation. I went to China. I'm talking to people from a city with 12 or 16 million people, and they want to know what's going on in Mountain View with 80,000 people. So this is where it's happening. There's a narrative that you may hear from some people in town that somehow we're a company town because Google is so large. But what really makes Mountain View unique is we're basically the best place in the world to start up a tech company. We have the talent, we have the services, and we have the environment that makes people with good ideas go into business here and build them in a way that makes, we've got parts of town where you drive around, who's that company? I don't know, but I think in 3 or 4 years I'm going to know who they are.
And Lenny, it seems it's always been the case, right? It's just Silicon Valley has been a place, a hotbed for innovation. It's not going away, it seems to just increase. So is there something in the water? What is it?
Well, the problem with the water is that the semiconductor companies left bad stuff in the water. But no, it's the fact that we've created an environment that's based upon talent and on education, about having a desirable place to live. So our job in the city is to keep that going, to make sure that people can afford to live here, that they can get to work, that the environment is protected. And that's what makes Mountain View and Silicon Valley so successful. Not that we have the lowest taxes in the world, that we don't regulate companies. What we do is support them by creating the tech environment.
And so a lot of, besides the big ones that we always hear about, there's a lot of startups, a lot of small companies. Anything that you see at this fair that has interested you besides the hoverboard?
Well, they call it a one-wheel skateboard. Now, when I was growing up, you made skateboards out of roller skates. It's not a skateboard if it's got one wheel. So what's amazing is the different kinds of innovation here. We've got software here. We've got companies, making one-wheel skateboards. So it's not the particular technology. It's the innovative environment.
That's right.
That's what counts.
So you've been mayor now for
since January.
Any highlights?
Well, I think we're moving forward in trying to solve the problems that are caused by our success. We're trying to solve housing, we're trying to solve transportation, but it won't happen in a day.
It's a much more delicate balance, I think, than people realize.
Well, most places around the world, and I know this when I go to conferences, city conferences around the country, most places don't have the problem that we have. We have too many good jobs for our housing and transportation networks. So everybody wants our jobs, and we have to figure out a way to accommodate those jobs.
Well, I think you're doing a great job. Enjoy the fair, and we'll see you around.
Great.
All right, we're here with Rana from Kaiser Permanente. Now, medical space is really a place for tech. So what is Kaiser working on here?
We are working with the Redwood City Neurosurgery Department, neurosurgeons of Redwood City Hospital, Kaiser Hospitals. They are into deep brain stimulation operation and they want to study the phenomena of freeze of gait for patients with Parkinson's disease. And we are collaborating with them for the last 1.5 years or so.
So how does it work? So this is a VR experience that Parkinson's patients use.
So this is kind of, we have put up a environment, VR environment, where there will be levels of walk, easier to difficult, and the patient would be walking through this environment, and we'll put a lot of visual cues on top of it, right? And the levels would be difficult one after another. And there are 5 levels where the patient would be walking, and the doctor will be studying that if that creates freeze of gait for the patients.
So this is used more for studying and collecting information than used for rehabilitation.
Yeah, at this moment it is more of a study because there are, as the neurosurgeons say, there are very little matter in the medical journals why it is causing this freeze of gait. They are really into studying this phenomena at this moment. But at the same time, I mean, this environment will shift to OR kind of environment later, where the patient would be going through this deep brain stimulation operation with electrodes planted in their brain, but they are awake. And they will be told to go through the same scenarios again during that operation, where the doctors also can measure if there is some improvement or not.
How do you select the patients to participate in these studies?
Here, actually, this is not even a trial. We are doing this, I mean, in a development mode. We have done the first phase, but the doctor said that probably in a second phase, because second phase is the virtual reality. In the first phase, we did it through 3D immersive environment, a complete 3D immersive video, but there you don't have the control on the visual cues, right? But in the virtual environment, you have that control. So with that visual cues, which you put on screen after screen, making it difficult, it can create the freeze of gate for them.
And so what's the timetable for that? When will you start having patients?
Probably end of this year. I am hoping to see it, come to the fruition for the patients.
Well, this is really awesome. Thanks for sharing with us, and keep up the good work.
Thanks a lot.
Oh, okay. Welcome. We're here with Nick. Nick is the founder and CEO of Beeline Reader. Just if you could tell us a little bit about what it does.
Beeline Reader is a technology that makes reading on screen easier. It was originally designed as a tool for speed readers, but after we launched, we found out there was also a powerful accessibility tool for people who have vision impairments, dyslexia, ADHD. So it's used in schools as an assistive technology and in general ed classrooms.
Okay, so this is sort of like when I would read, kind of follow my finger to do. I've seen speed readers do that. Is that sort of the inception of this?
Yeah, so what we do is we use color in a new way in text so that the color at the end of one line matches the color at the beginning of the next line, and it follows a gradient and assists with visual tracking, allows you to read more quickly, and helps you to focus when you're reading.
Okay, so and this is somebody like me, it would just sort of like reading in bright daylight, my tablet or something that would assist with that.
That's right. There's an iPad app, Chrome extension, Firefox add-on that you can use to read whatever it is you're reading.
And so anything that I have, if it's an online article or if I have some book on my Kindle, I can run it through the app and it'll automatically do it?
That's right. For news, PDFs, and Kindle books as well.
Great. And you mentioned that this is helpful for people maybe with dyslexia to help them read. Has this been, is there thought to use this as an application for education and especially people who have special needs for reading?
Yeah, we've been integrated into the Bookshare reading platform, which is based by nonprofit Benetech in Palo Alto. We're also on the Reading is Fundamental platform, and part of the reason they're interested in our technology is because it does make reading more accessible for people who've struggled with reading because of dyslexia or attention deficits.
And how long has Beeline Reader been in existence?
We've been around for about 4 years.
And you're enjoying growth, it sounds like?
Yeah, it's been good. We're now funded by Intel Capital through their education accelerator, and we're expanding. We've got users around the world in 120 countries.
And so must feel good to sort of give back and use it, make an educational tool. Reading is fundamental, I've heard.
Yeah.
Before you started Beeline, what did you do?
I was a corporate lawyer. I worked in international tax planning, which is about as interesting as it sounds, and so I enjoy giving back and helping people to read.
Well, thanks for sharing with us, and best of luck in the future. Looks like a great tool.
Thank you.
All right, hey, we're here with the Mountain View High School robotics team, at least some of them. Olivia and Senya and one more, but
Maria.
And Maria.
Yeah.
So Olivia, tell us about what Mountain View High School robotics is up to. Maybe describe this thing.
So we participate in a competition called First Robotics Competition, and it's for high school students, and we have a 6-week build season starting in January where they release a new game and we build a robot to complete those tasks.
So what does it have to do?
So this year we have to pick up these yellow power cubes and we stack them on what's called a scale, which ranges from 4 to 6 feet in height. And so we are able to intake those with the intakes, and then we pick them up with this claw and we stack them.
Okay. And then how big is the team? I know that it's like a little mini corporation, isn't it?
Yeah, so we're kind of in the middle of getting new members who are about to become freshmen. And so the numbers are kind of iffy, but I think it's around 40-50 people.
Okay,
around.
and so so not everyone is building them, right? You got people who do marketing and everything else, right?
So on our team, everyone tries to do a little bit of everything. So everyone ends up working on the robot, but people also specialize in other things, like Maria does outreach. Do you want to talk about that?
So basically what outreach does is, this is technically outreach. So like we'll set up demos at different high schools or different middle schools or elementary schools and demo their PBSO's robot. Or like take them to sponsors and demo it for them too. And then for like, I also do awards, which is where we write essays and talk about like our team and the outreach that we do as a team. And basically, we either honor our team outreach or we honor a single mentor who's done an astounding job for our team and helped our team grow to be what it is today.
That's awesome. And then Senya, can you tell us about, just lately you went all the way to World Championships?
Yes, so every year we go to 2 regional competitions. So this year we went to San Francisco and Silicon Valley regionals, and we won at San Francisco regional. And after that we qualify for Houston Championships, and we shipped our robot there and we fly there. We competed there until quarterfinals of our division when we got eliminated, but it was a fun season and it was great going to championships.
Sure, that must be quite an accomplishment to make it to this is the World Championships, right? All the way in Houston. You know, in Houston they do all kinds of space stuff, right?
Yes.
Yeah. But okay, well, great. So anything else we should know about Mountain View Robot? Who typically gets involved with being on the team at school? These are kids studying engineering?
I mean, anyone is welcome to join the team if they're going to Mountain View High School or if they're a rising freshman. And you don't have to know anything before joining the team. That's one of the biggest misconceptions. People think that since they don't know anything, they can't join, but that's not true. I don't think any of us knew anything before we joined, and you just learn a lot. And it's a great experience.
It is. And does the robot have a name?
Yes, Curiosity, named after the Mars rover.
Okay, so Curiosity and the Mountain View High School team that built her. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.